so glad I was able to do a live stream today. And it's the first live stream of the week. And I'm going to follow in the footsteps of Dancing Dog 60 there and gift 5 memberships, as I do at the beginning of every week. Here it comes. Oh, boy. All righty. All right, there we go. Thank you so much for being a part of these live streams. Really crucial to the channel. I'm glad you like my shirt. A happy birthday, Stephen Carrier. This shirt is from AFRM. They don't make it right now. Oh, thank you, Lady Jennifer Snow. Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Danny. They don't make this shirt. Oh, thank you, Blair. Oh, Blair, thanks for joining. Welcome back. They don't make this shirt anymore at AFRM. But they make a lot of cool shirts all the time. In fact, I own a number from them. Beware. They're all kind of see-through. So, you know, I don't know if I could wear this shirt out in public without a tank top underneath it. But it looks good on the live stream. All right, but I recommend that brand. I think they do a really nice job. Yeah, there's lots of little tiny stories that are floating around. Another Practical Magic movie. The Boys is going to end after all with its next season. Paramount said no thank you to Skydance. So I don't know if anyone's going to buy them at this point. So, you know, but nothing really big enough, I think, to anchor the stream. So I thought we'd do an Ask Me Anything. Of course, anyone can watch this stream. And hello to everybody who's watching who's not a member. Hello, I appreciate you. Thank you, Blair, for gifting a membership. And if you are a member, you may ask me anything that you would like for about 30 minutes. Although, of course, as always, I don't necessarily have to answer it. Hey, Andrew. iHeartMovies says, how many hours a day do you work? That's an interesting question. My schedule is not set in stone. It's very much what I want it to be. So when things are busy, sometimes I'll work from 9 to 7. And then I also sometimes will work, I always work on Sundays. Movie math takes about, typically if I start at 11, I'll be done around 5. So it takes about 6 hours to make movie math. I know. I wish there was a way I could speed that up, but there's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into movie math. I got to think about what I want to say. I got to write it out. I got to film it. Then I have to edit in all the pictures and the funny pictures that I want for extra commentary. Takes a lot of time. Hey, Carter says, using my monthly chat to say Happy Pride Month. Yes, Happy Pride Month indeed to all. That was very kind of you, Carter. Yes, he says, hello, Grace. What are your top 3 X-Men films? Ooh, interesting. I would say X2 is by far and away the best X-Men film ever made. Then I would put, I don't even know if I'm factoring in the Deadpool movies here, but just of the classic X-Men films, I guess I would then go X-Men Days of Future Past, and then the original X-Men because it's the OG. That's what I guess I would say. Good question. James, I don't think I'm going to cover the Paddington 3 trailer tomorrow. I got to tell you, I'm so excited that there are so many shows in June, but it's taking a lot more time to cover them than I had anticipated. There is a small chance that The Boys, by the way, will drop tomorrow night because the spoiler embargo for the first 3 episodes is Thursday afternoon. And so usually they drop them in an evening, not at midnight. So I think they're going to drop Wednesday evening, just so you're ready. Let's see here. What else? Reggie says, what show would you pick, The Boys or Invincible? The Boys. I mean, I like Invincible quite a bit, and to me they're a package deal, but I just really like The Boys. I'm a big fan of it. I love commentary. I love intellectual commentary. I love shows that have the guts to actually say stuff and follow through. I love it. Let's see here. Sadie, do we match today? Are we both Wanda? We both in our, this is a very Wanda shirt. I never thought of that. It makes me like it even more. Wanda, I love you. All right. Let's see. NoffX says, Grace, what is your opinion on the reaction that The Boys is getting for the new season? Yeah, I'm pretty shocked that the RT score is not great because I liked the show. I liked season 4 so much. I think it's because it is so, it's so political. I think that when you do that, I think no matter which side you're going with, I think that some people it might just not be fun for them to watch anymore. And so I am a little curious to see what the general reaction is when the episodes actually drop. Daniel says, "Hi Grace, long time no see. Would you ever consider hosting a FYC panel or career retrospective? Your interviews are great." You have to be asked to do that, Daniel. And, you have to go to a lot of conventions, and I don't really go to conventions, as you know. I've done a couple of hosting things like that. I was on the Batman panel for his anniversary right before the pandemic. So, I've done that a couple of times. It's fun. I got to tell you, though, I'm very aggressive. And, I think that, I don't know if that's what they, panel hosts, I guess, it's a really tough situation. I think panel hosts are supposed to be like, kind of disappear, which is why nobody really ever talks about who hosted a panel. But I feel a panel host is supposed to impose law and order on the panel and make sure that it moves ahead at a good pace and, it's focused. And a few times I've done that, I have been complimented by the people who are on the panel who really appreciated it. But the people that you put in line don't always appreciate it. So I don't know if I need to be getting into fights just to host a panel. I get into enough fights as it is. All right. Steven says, "What's the bigger flop, Madame Web or Furiosa?" Ooh. It might be a tie. Both killed. Well, I guess Furiosa, because Madame Web, at least Dakota Johnson could laugh at it. Dancing Dog 60 says, hold on. Oh, look at all the questions. Oh my goodness, I appreciate it. Dancing Dog 60 says, "Chance we get a Superman teaser at the Super Bowl." Maybe, although Warner Brothers notoriously does not advertise at the Super Bowl, and they only did when Dwayne Johnson talked them into doing it, and it went horribly wrong, as you know. So I don't know if they're going to plunk down that cash. And also, it'll be very early for that, because Superman is a July release and the Super Bowl is at the beginning of the year. A lot of you, like Bence, are asking about the Arcane teaser. I wonder if, like Invincible, it's just been too long. I, who does not like to have to go back and watch like things that are really long, I was like, damn, I better rewatch season 1, because there's just, it's been such a long time. I think that hurt Invincible. I think it hurt A Blood of Zeus, and I think that very might potentially hurt Arcane. And then they were like, it's the final season. I guess that's the only way you can put it. But everybody was like, this is only the second season. And they're like, that's right. And you're not getting any more. That's right, Haunted Autumn. House of the Dragon returns this Sunday. I got my screener today for the first episode. Watched it. Looks gorgeous. Speaking of craftsmanship, make sure you tune in on Sunday night, because the ending is quite the ending, particularly for people who read the books. So you're going to not want to miss that, or you're not going to want to have it spoiled for you. Hey, Obed. Hey, Aaron. Thanks for joining. Welcome back. Well, Obed, thanks for joining, and Aaron, welcome back. Let's see. Jonathan says, "Was there a film that had such great cinematography that you booked a flight to its location? Mine is Lord of the Rings and booking a trip to New Zealand." I gotta say, there has not been one, but I will say that the whole reason that my family lives in New York is that my mother, growing up in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, was enamored with New York City, and she really wanted to live there. And so that's why I'm a New Yorker. And also a little Middle American, because my parents are both from Middle America. So I'm in the middle. Let's see here. Marco, don't ask for the boys' spoilers. I can't do that. Let's see here. Ramen Zilla says, "Happy Pride, Grace. Do you have a favorite museum in New York City? I'm opting for a staycation this week, and I could use some suggestions." Oh, I think you got to go by the exhibits. I really like the Metropolitan Museum of Art is wonderful, but I think right now they probably have better exhibits at the American Museum of Natural History. I like that museum. Both those museums are great. Lone Wolf, enjoy your staycation. Lone Wolf Media says, is comic book dominance truly over? Will video games replace it? How much longer can the theatrical industry last with so many bombs? You know, you guys aren't excited about anything, and it's scary. Like, for instance, I'm starting to feel that no one's going to care about any of these shows this month. You're not going to care about The Boys, you're not going to care about House of the Dragon, and you're not going to care about well, you definitely don't care about The Acolyte. The Acolyte drops that controversial episode this evening, and I'm excited to talk to you about it. My breakdown will be going up shortly after it airs. But I think it might be the economy. I think the economy is just making everybody upset. And I think that if maybe everybody wasn't so upset, maybe they'd be open to being entertained again. But it's scary right now. On that note, Ohad says, which show do you think is going to capture everyone's attention and excitement? You know, it might be The Bear Season 3 at the end of the month. Hopefully, I hope all these shows, well, I think the ship has sailed maybe potentially for The Acolyte after this week's episode, but I hope that the House of the Dragon is popular. I hope that people do like The Boys. You know, it's been 2 years since the last season of The Boys. Maybe that's too long. Let's see here. Alexander Padilla says, hey, Grace, will you review Hulu's Spanish language show, La Maquena, starring Diego Luna, Gael García Bernal, and Isaac Gonzalez? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I've not heard of the show yet. So is it like genre-y? If it's in my wheelhouse, you know, I would potentially consider it. Oh, Mr. Magic, have fun with your dad. That's a nice thing to go and do. Oh, thanks for gifting a membership, Sadie. That is Wanda, right? All right, Tyler says, hi, Grace. What do you think of the best 3 movies Netflix has ever made? It's so hard to find some good movies on there and need some recommendations. Extraction 1 and 2. Those are so good. Go watch Extraction 1 and 2. And then, it's not a movie, but I really like Ripley. I bet you haven't watched Ripley. Love Ripley. Nacho Flores says, who has the more iconic female characters, the X-Men or Batman? Batman has Catwoman, Harley, Ivy, Batgirl, Talia. So you pick Batman. I think it's a tie. And it's interesting that those are my 2 favorite, those are the 2 properties that got me into fandom when I was growing up, Batman and Batman and X-Men. And they have such strong, cool female characters. And that's probably the reason why I like them so much. But I like the male characters there as well. But I think it's a toss-up. They both have wonderful female characters. Carter B says, if you traveled to other countries before, I sure have. Now, I'm not a huge world traveler. I'd really like to go to Japan. That's like the next thing I really want to do. But I've been to Canada. Thank you very much. I've been to London, to England, and I've been to France and Italy. Very American places to go, I know, but that is where I've traveled. Let's see here. Mish says, are you excited for House of the Dragon? Movie math and breakdowns. Your Sundays are going to be busy. Well, thank goodness I get the episodes a couple of days in advance for House of the Dragon, so I don't lose my mind on Sundays. And also, I want to be able to have the breakdowns ready for you. I really am honored to be a part of your viewing experience. So, yeah, but Sundays, I don't love having to short end movie math. I'm going to try and really have to rush to get movie math up on early because, you know, usually movie math plays all the way through Monday. But now it's going to have House of the Dragon coming in late that night. Chico, I'm seeing Inside Out 2 tonight. I'm going to the screening after this. Right, Guy Tai still loves The Boys. The people turned on The Boys today. I was shocked. Everybody was like, yeah, like that. I was like, what happened? You guys loved it. Brad Bresson says, hey, Grace, we found out the gender. She's a girl. Oh, you're having a child, right? We're going with Amelia as her name, like Amelia Earhart. I love it. I hope she flies high. Congratulations. That's wonderful. So exciting. Paris Ryan, that's a nice name, says, Grace, do you think that there will be a turnaround in Hollywood in 2025 or that the current box office is a predictor of the future for the so-called Hollywood star? Remember Barbenheimer and Super Mario? It can be done, but it might not be like as soon as it turns to 2025, things are fixed. It might take a little bit longer. I know people in the industry are starting to get nervous about 2025 being difficult as well. You know, everybody was like, oh, we just have to survive the year. And now they're like, maybe longer? Devin Henderson says, I'm seeing a ton of Marvel rumors. Any truth to any of them? I'm going to tell you, I'm not trying to be too much in the scoop game because a friend of mine who's also, or was also in the scoop game, we were talking about it, and we decided that the scoop game was thankless. You know, like everybody always only remembers when you're wrong, which, you know, I have a very good track record. I'd say like 90% of the time my scoops are correct. But, you know, I got to deal with, you know, the jerks who only remember the little parts, right? Then, when you do get it right, people repeat it, and no one remembers that it came from you. As I've said before, I've had people send me stories saying, is this true? And I'm like, dude, I'm the source of the story that you just sent me. And then you get in trouble, right? And then also, I think it's gotten out of control that stories are getting ruined. So I'm intentionally backing away from scoops for that reason. And on that note, Joaquin, I don't know who's playing Lady Deadpool, and I don't want to know. I would like to be surprised in the theater. Like, I hope that you would want to be. Although I hope that rumor that Taylor Swift is not in the movie is true. That movie does not need it. Let's see here. MM92 says, hi, Grace. What do you think is an underrated film composer that people should listen to more? I really liked the score of The Acolyte. You know, I think that's incredibly well done. I think very, very good composition there. Great score. That's right, Dimitri. R.I.P. to Comicstorian. So sad that he passed away in an accident in the last 24 hours. Devastating. I tweeted, holy shit, because that was my legit reaction. Because I met him once at an Injustice 2 event. Such a kind individual. He was a big part of this space. And it was just shocking. Let's see here. Alex says, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so far behind on these questions. Hold on, let me try. I'm going to have to be a little faster. Okay, hold on. I'm coming. All right. James Scott, thank you for joining. Master Bruce says, as a filmmaker, should I make my screenplay into another form of IP? You can't. Master Bruce, don't write for an IP you don't have a deal for. You will instantly make it that no one will touch your script or project because they don't want to get sued. So don't write for something you don't have a deal for. It's got to be an original idea. Let's see here. AG, thank you for gifting those memberships. I'm trying to get through on the super chats first, and then I'll get to the other questions, okay? S.A. Vasquez, thank you for joining. Devin Henderson says, why was Warner Brothers' Practical Magic 2 announcement so weird? Who knows? I can't believe people are excited for Practical Magic 2. That Akiva Goldsman, he just keeps getting work. Let's see here. Martine says, hi, Grace, just popping in for a little trying to stay off the phone for my birthday today. I hope you're still here, Martine. Happy birthday. Let's see. Michael with no A says, Grace, wouldn't it be cool if they wrote a prequel series to Succession and call it Obsession? And we see the kids grow up obsessing over their father. But they'd have to guess be teenagers because you wouldn't want to make a show about evil little kids. I don't know. I think they should just leave Succession alone. I like you're trying to flip it around with Succession and Obsession, but maybe you could write a similar show to Succession with that title instead. Thanks for gifting those memberships, Martine, and on your birthday, no less. That's very generous of you. Let's see. You gave a gift to other people. J-Lo, 1972, always very generous, always gifting memberships. Thank you. Sally Webster says, what do you... nice try, Sally Webster. I saw your Twitter feed. Let's see here. Rick71 says, unfortunately, it seems to be super cool to be snarky, jaded, and crap on everything nowadays. And profitable. But I think, then you become a hate channel. And I don't think there's any... I think long-term, there's no mileage in being a hate channel. Hey, Sebastian Bermudez. Nick Dean says, how do you read the chat and keep your train of thought while talking? Oh, thanks. I'm glad I make it look easy. I'm not sure. I just am able to do it. I guess practice because I do it like at least 2 or 3 times a week. So I guess that's part of it. Motivator Crew says, hey, Grace, what was your experience as an actress in Zombieland 2? And would you like to be in another film if you were asked to? Yeah, I would. Sure, of course, it would be fun, as long as it was a cool, fun, respectful part. But it was really fun. I loved doing it. I was really, really happy that I got the opportunity to do it, and it was an amazing experience. And not only did I have fun, but I also learned even more about the filmmaking process from that perspective. James Griffin says, what do you think of Benoit Blanc's new look for Knives Out 3? He's got longer hair. I love it. Not only does it look fun, but it's going to very clearly distinguish the thumbnails. And that's very important to me. I want people to look at a thumbnail for Knives Out 3 and clearly be like, that's the third entry. That's very important for my side of my perspective. Blair, so generous of you. I just finished the Blood, Sweat, and Chrome Mad Max audiobook. It's a miracle. It's the masterpiece it is after that, and tragic that we'll probably never get a sequel. What is a movie that makes you wonder how it was made? That's an interesting question, Blair. It's hard for me to think of something off the top of my head where you're really... I guess, you know what? It's funny that Christo brings up Civil War. I would say Civil War. Sometimes what surprises me most about some movies is that nobody looks at... that they don't get notes back when they submit it to do a project. You would think some executive would say, but you didn't pick a side. I just feel, Jennifer Winona says, Olivia Munn is Wonder Woman? I feel for Olivia Munn. She just went through a very difficult journey, and I thought it was really nice of her to share her story so that other women could learn from her experience. And I'm glad that it had a happy ending. But I do not think she should be Wonder Woman. Let's see here. Hey, Carlos. I'm almost caught up. Alexander Padilla says, Grace, what do you think JLo needs to do to fix her image? I think she needs to take a break. I think she's overexposed, would be my guess. I think she just should take a break. Let's see here. Electra Bolt says, what's the process you use to create a video like Movie Math? Do you start with an outline? I really like the outlines you have throughout your videos and the pictures. I'll start thinking about Movie Math as the box office numbers start coming in, like even as early as Thursday night, or or Friday morning when you start to see the Thursday night numbers. I'll come up with like little jokes or perspectives, and I'll email them to myself. I always email myself notes. That's how I do my notes to myself, and then I just go through my emails to see what I wanted to write to myself. And then, so I'm thinking about it constantly in the back of my mind, formulating it, but I don't know for sure what it's going to be until I see the numbers on Sunday morning. So I sit down and I'm like, okay, and then what's my gut reaction? What's the angle? And then I sit down and I start writing it, and then I do the digital and the streams. And so that's the process to a degree. Sebastian says, what do you think about Chance Perdomo on Gen V? He was wonderful, and it's very sad that he passed away. Ethan Maddox says, Grace, do you have a childhood celebrity crush? I watched a lot of classic movies growing up, and I got to tell you, I really liked Jimmy Stewart. Rear Window is one of my favorite movies of all time. I really liked Jimmy Stewart. I thought he was awesome. Tiff says, would you ever do a collab? I've done a couple of collabs over the years. Let's see here. I didn't see a Dune comment. I don't see a Dune comment. Let's see here. Your little brother Gabriel says, Grace, any validity to the rumors on The Mummy 4? I talked about them on Movie Math. I don't know if they're true or not, but I would like them to be true. I really love Adil and Bilal, who directed, Ms. Marvel, Batgirl, but also the last two Bad Boys movies. I think they'd be an excellent fit with that material. Jennifer Onona says, I'm glad you guys like my Jimmy Stewart love. Did you go to broadcasting school, or did you teach yourself how to speak on camera and conduct interviews? That's funny. There are a couple of choices that I've made that I don't want to talk about because, it's proprietary. But I will say that I've seen some people question whether or not this is what I actually talk like. It is. This is the way I talk. If you were talking to me in real life, this is how I would talk. Do I do the highs and lows when I'm speaking in real life? Yes, I do. Am I very loud? Yes. I have gotten a little louder. And I've had, in real life, some people are like, why are you talking so loudly? And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I'm used to projecting for being on camera. But yeah, one bit of advice that I will say is that when you are on camera, you have to be bigger to be able to come across well. Energy is muted by the camera. So I have to be like at a 12 to come across at like an 8. So that is some advice that I would give you. If you'll find that you actually look at the playback, you'll be like, oh, I was much more energetic than that. So you got to turn up the energy to come across as energetic, if that's what you want to do. Mystic says, do you think smaller services like Peacock and Paramount Plus will survive? Probably not. They'll probably get rolled in into they'll probably just maybe be a couple of main streaming services. Dallin says, what's your favorite New York movie? New York City movie. I recently watched Moonstruck and Splash again, and they made me miss your home. Come back, Dallin. Yeah, there are a lot of great New York movies. One of the most fun things I like about New York movies is deciding whether or not, I guess When Harry Met Sally is a great New York movie for me. But I think it's really funny when I see movies and they're moving around the city, whether or not they're accurate. They're like, let's go over here. And you're like, that was a 40-block jump. Let's see here. Mark Neek says, do you think Blade will ever get made? And then Dre Film says, do you think Blade should be scrapped? I don't think Blade will ever get made. And at this point, I would not make it. I think that Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, Warner Brothers vampire movie is going to be basically Blade. Sophia said, Inside Out 2 projections, 80 to 90 million. Good or not? It'll be disappointing if it doesn't break 100. But as long as it's above 80, everybody will feel like we're okay. Aneka says, I'm sure you really have a British accent in real life. That's funny, Aneka. Secretly British. I do like toast. Let's see here. Danny says, hey, Grace, thank you for all you do. Love your reviews, interviews, and comments on Movie Math videos. Thank you, Danny. I always appreciate your support. You're very, very kind. Let's see here. Ohad says, House of the Dragon has a phenomenal cast. What actor or actress do you think is the main gem of the show? So far, I can't give away anything. Let's see here. Art Lover, your partner can hear my New York accent? It's very subtle. Extremely subtle. Sometimes I hear it, but it's pretty subtle, I think. Finn says, hey, Grace, would you ever do an Ask Me Anything for an hour? Sometimes I do. And if I didn't have to go to this Inside Out 2 screening, I'd do it for an hour today. But I must go to the other screening. Let's see here. Lloyd, I don't know if Jordan Peele was going to do X-Men. That's a rumor. And I have never heard of whether or not it's true. But I will tell you that he would have been a nice choice for it. But I don't know if he would have been a mainstream profitable choice for it either. So let's see. Podge Durka says, Grace, what is your most recent concert and a performer you want to see? Oh, I'm blanking on a concert that I've been to. I don't remember. I'm sorry. Weesey says, hi, Grace. What do you think about the Paramount deal with Skydance going south? Where do they go now? Oh, welcome back, Brian. I don't know. Sherry Redstone, boy. She's making women in business not look great, and I'm kind of a little frustrated about it. Glubby Snot, welcome back. Let's see here. C. Williams says, did you see the Arcane Season 2 teaser? I did see it. And I thought it was okay. Again, I thought it took a little bit too long. Oh, Ricky Ritchie, Ghostbusters and Spider-Man are great New York movies. Ghostbusters in particular. I love the I know a lot of the Ghostbusters locations. Jareem says, hi, Grace, watching with my boyfriend Damien, and he's asking to know anything about the upcoming Pokemon series. Any tea? I have a little tea on that. I've somehow managed to see a little of it, and I can tell you that it looks phenomenally good from a visual perspective. Chico, I think the Maxine posters look great. I can't wait for that movie. I'm going to review it. And I got to tell you, my parents, of all people, watched X the other day because they want to see Maxine. I was like, are you guys going to watch Pearl? And they were like, we don't know about Pearl. But they watched Maxine and they loved it. They were like, what a great movie. And they were like, this Mia Goth is very talented. And I was like, you guys are awesome. So I thought that was really funny. My parents also really liked Poor Things. My parents are very progressive. Let's see. Wandering Seth says, I want to upgrade my membership, but there's a no change level option. Wandering Seth, what you do is unfortunately, you have to drop out and then resubscribe at the new level, I think is what works the best. Let's see here. Josh says, aside from Wolverine and Deadpool, what is your most anticipated movie coming out this summer? Twisters and also A Quiet Place Day One. Art Lover says, will you watch the Tonys? Oh, no, it's Father's Day evening, so I will not be watching the Tonys, I'm afraid. But if there are any highlight reels on the Twitters, I will check that out. I'm hoping that Young Woman in the Sea comes out this weekend after all, because I think my dad would enjoy that movie for Father's Day. He likes classic films, and that's very much like a classic film. Robert, thank you for the advice on X and Pearl. I'll be sure to forward that information to my parents. All right, I better get going. I got to leave soon for this screening. Okay, everybody, I'm so glad I was able to do a live stream today, and there'll be 2 more this week, probably on Wednesday and Thursday. That's what I'm hoping to do. All right, everybody, fabulous. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.